The low-carb diet, short for low-carbohydrate, is a dietary plan that emphasizes reducing carbohydrate intake compared to conventional diets. In this approach, carbohydrates are primarily replaced with proteins and healthy fats. The low-carb diet has gained popularity due to its effectiveness in weight loss and the management of conditions such as type 2 diabetes. Let's explore in detail what the low-carb diet is and how it works. What are carbohydrates? Carbohydrates are macronutrients found in foods like bread, pasta, rice, cereals, potatoes, and sugars. When consumed, they are converted into glucose, sugar, in the blood, which is used as an energy source by the body. However, excess carbohydrates, especially refined and sugary ones, can lead to weight gain and health problems such as insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes. Principles of the low-carb diet. The low-carb diet is based on the following principles. 1. Carbohydrate reduction. The central principle of the low-carb diet is the conscious restriction of carbohydrate intake. This means limiting the amount of carbohydrate-rich foods like bread, pasta, rice, cereals, potatoes, and sugars. Instead, the emphasis is on choosing low-sugar and low-starch carbohydrate sources, such as leafy vegetables and other non-starchy vegetables. For many people following the low-carb diet, the starting point is to limit carbohydrate intake to around 20 to 50 grams of net carbs per day. Net carbs are calculated by subtracting dietary fiber from total carbohydrates since fiber is not digested by the body and does not affect blood glucose levels in the same way as other carbohydrates. 2. Increased protein. With the reduction in carbohydrates, the low-carb diet emphasizes the importance of proteins as an essential part of the diet. Proteins are found in foods like lean meats, fish, eggs, and dairy products, especially low-carb yogurt and cheese. Protein plays a crucial role in maintaining muscle mass, promoting satiety, and supporting metabolism. It's important to choose lean protein sources like skinless chicken breast, fish, lean meat, and cuts of lean red meat to avoid excessive saturated fat consumption. For vegetarians and vegans, protein sources include tofu, tempeh, legumes such as lentils and beans, and plant-based protein products. 3. Increased healthy fats. In the low-carb diet, healthy fats play a significant role in the total calorie intake. Sources of healthy fats include avocados, olive oil, nuts, seeds, fatty fish, like salmon and sardines, and coconut oil. Fat is a long-lasting source of energy and contributes to satiety, which can help control appetite. It's important to note that the low-carb diet is not a high-saturated or trans-fat diet. It promotes the consumption of unsaturated fats and avoids processed foods high in saturated fat and unhealthy trans fats. 4. Focus on unprocessed foods. The low-carb diet prioritizes the consumption of natural and unprocessed foods. In addition to the mentioned proteins, fats, and carbohydrates, this includes a variety of vegetables, especially non-starchy ones like spinach, broccoli, cauliflower, and asparagus. These vegetables are rich in fiber, vitamins, and minerals, with low net carb content. Other healthy choices include low-sugar fruits like strawberries, blueberries, and avocados. However, it's important to consume fruits in moderation due to their carbohydrate content. 5. Hydration and nutritional balance. Staying well hydrated is essential in any diet, and the low-carb diet is no exception. Drinking water regularly is important for the proper functioning of the body. Additionally, including electrolytes like sodium, potassium, and magnesium can be beneficial, especially at the beginning of the diet, to help prevent a keto flu, a set of temporary symptoms some people experience during the transition to ketosis. It's crucial for the low-carb diet to be balanced and rich in nutrients to meet individual nutritional needs. It's often advisable to work with a doctor or nutritionist to customize the diet according to specific health goals and individual needs. 6. Monitoring and adaptation. The low-carb diet is not a one-size-fits-all approach. Each person has different needs, preferences, and dietary tolerances. Therefore, it's essential for anyone wishing to follow a low-carb diet to seek guidance from a healthcare professional or nutritionist to tailor the diet to their individual needs. Furthermore, it's important to understand that the low-carb diet may not be suitable for all situations and may not be sustainable in the long term for some people. Therefore, it's recommended to adopt the diet carefully, regularly monitor it, and make adjustments as necessary to ensure it is safe and effective for each individual. In summary, the low-carb diet is a nutritional approach that focuses on reducing carbohydrates, increasing proteins and healthy fats, choosing unprocessed foods, and achieving nutritional balance. It can offer significant benefits for weight loss and the control of certain health conditions, but it should be implemented responsibly and with professional guidance to ensure its effectiveness and safety. How the low-carb diet works. The low-carb diet operates in several ways. 1. Reduction of glucose. Reducing carbohydrate intake in the low-carb diet has a significant impact on blood glucose. When you consume carbohydrates, they are broken down into glucose, which is released into the bloodstream. This causes an increase in blood sugar levels. In response to this increase, the pancreas releases insulin, a hormone that helps transport glucose to cells, where it can be used as energy. However, excessive consumption of carbohydrates, especially refined and sugary carbohydrates, leads to a sharp spike in blood glucose levels, followed by a rapid drop, which can lead to feelings of hunger and cravings for more carbohydrate-rich foods. This creates a vicious cycle of overconsumption of carbohydrates and weight gain. By reducing carbohydrate intake in the low-carb diet, blood glucose spikes are minimized, providing greater stability in blood sugar levels. This results in a prolonged feeling of fullness, reducing cravings for carbohydrate-rich foods and contributing to more effective appetite control. 2. Promotion of ketosis. Ketosis is a metabolic state in which the body begins to burn fat as its primary source of energy instead of carbohydrates. This occurs when carbohydrate intake is drastically reduced, causing the body to adapt to an alternative energy source. Here's how ketosis works. When there is a shortage of carbohydrates available for energy, the liver starts breaking down glycogen reserves, which are made of glucose and stored in muscles and the liver. As these glycogen reserves deplete, the body begins to break down stored fat into fatty acids and glycerol. Fatty acids are converted into molecules called ketones in the liver, which can be used as an alternative energy source for the brain and muscles. The main advantage of ketosis in the low-carb diet is that fat burning is efficient for weight loss. As the body uses stored fat for energy, there is a reduction in body fat, leading to weight loss. Additionally, ketones also have an appetite-suppressing effect, which can help reduce calorie intake. However, it's important to note that ketosis should be monitored carefully and should not be confused with ketoacidosis, a dangerous state that can occur in people with type 1 diabetes. Ketoacidosis is a serious medical condition and different from nutritional ketosis. 3. Improvement in insulin sensitivity. Insulin sensitivity refers to the ability of the body's cells to respond effectively to insulin, allowing glucose to be transported into cells. Insulin resistance is a common issue in people with type 2 diabetes and is also associated with weight gain. By following a low-carb diet, which is low in carbohydrates that rapidly raise blood glucose levels, insulin sensitivity can significantly improve. This is because reduced carbohydrate intake reduces the demand for insulin, allowing cells to become more sensitive to the action of this hormone. With improved insulin sensitivity, cells can efficiently absorb glucose, resulting in more stable blood glucose levels. This is particularly beneficial for people with type 2 diabetes as it can help control blood sugar levels more effectively and, in some cases, even reduce the need for medication. However, it's important to emphasize that anyone with diabetes considering a low-carb diet should do so under the supervision of a healthcare professional, as medication adjustments may be necessary to avoid hypoglycemia, low blood sugar. Additionally, the low-carb diet is not suitable for all people with diabetes, and individualization of the dietary plan is crucial. Potential benefits. The low-carb diet can offer several benefits, including effective weight loss, blood sugar control for individuals with type 2 diabetes, improved lipid profile, including reduced triglycerides, reduced hunger and cravings for sugary foods, increased feelings of satiety, Precautions. It's important to remember that the low-carb diet may not be suitable for everyone. Before starting any dietary plan, it's crucial to consult with a doctor or nutritionist, especially if you have pre-existing medical conditions. Additionally, professional guidance is essential to ensure that the diet is balanced and meets your individual nutritional needs. In summary, the low-carb diet is a nutritional approach that limits carbohydrate intake in favor of proteins and healthy fats. It can be effective for weight loss, diabetes control, and overall health improvement, but it should be followed responsibly and under proper supervision. The low-carb diet has been recognized for its significant influence on both weight loss and diabetes control. It offers a nutritional approach that can bring considerable benefits to individuals seeking to lose weight or manage type 2 diabetes. Let's explore in detail how the low-carb diet affects these two areas. 1. Weight loss. The low-carb diet has stood out as an effective weight loss strategy. Here are some ways it influences weight loss. Calorie reduction. By limiting carbohydrate intake, individuals often naturally reduce their total calorie consumption. This happens because carbohydrates tend to be calorie-dense foods, such as bread, pasta, and sweets. Replacing these foods with proteins and healthy fats results in lower calorie intake, which is essential for weight loss. Appetite control. The low-carb diet is known to provide a longer-lasting feeling of satiety. Reducing spikes in blood glucose levels that occur after carbohydrate intake helps control appetite and reduce cravings for carbohydrate-rich foods. This makes it easier to adhere to the diet and reduce calorie intake. Fat burning. By limiting carbohydrate availability, the body enters a state of ketosis, where it primarily burns fat for energy. This is advantageous for weight loss, as stored fat is used as fuel, resulting in reduced body fat. Reduction in fluid retention. Carbohydrate restriction can lead to the loss of retained fluids in the body, which can result in rapid initial weight loss. While this is usually a temporary effect, it can provide initial motivation for those seeking to lose weight. 2. Diabetes control. The low-carb diet has also proven to be an effective strategy for controlling type 2 diabetes. It positively influences the condition in several ways. Stabilization of glucose levels. Reducing carbohydrate intake leads to more stable blood glucose levels. This is crucial for people with type 2 diabetes, as it helps prevent extreme spikes and drops in blood sugar, providing better metabolic control. Improved insulin sensitivity. The low-carb diet increases insulin sensitivity, meaning that the body's cells respond more effectively to insulin, allowing glucose to be absorbed more easily. This reduces the need for exogenous insulin and may even lead to a reduction in medications in some cases. Reduction in insulin resistance. Insulin resistance is a common feature in people with type 2 diabetes. The low-carb diet can reduce insulin resistance, making the body more responsive to the action of this hormone and facilitating blood glucose control. Weight loss. Weight loss associated with the low-carb diet is beneficial for people with type 2 diabetes, as excess weight is linked to insulin resistance. Reducing body fat contributes to improved insulin sensitivity and better glycemic control. Reduced medication dependence. Many individuals with type 2 diabetes can reduce or eliminate the need for medications when adopting a low-carb diet under medical supervision. This is because the diet helps control blood glucose levels more effectively. It's important to emphasize that when adopting a low-carb diet for diabetes control, it must be done under the supervision of a healthcare professional, such as a doctor or nutritionist. Each person responds differently to the diet, and medications may need to be adjusted to prevent hypoglycemia, low blood sugar. In summary, the low-carb diet has a positive influence on both weight loss and the control of type 2 diabetes. It provides stability in glucose levels, improves insulin sensitivity, and can lead to weight loss, making it a valuable approach for improving metabolic health. However, the implementation of the diet should be closely monitored by healthcare professionals to ensure its effectiveness and safety.